Okay, welcome back to accounting grade 10. Today we want to look at a question on source documents. This is the question that we have, question 3 on that question paper, and it's on source documents. We can start by understanding exactly what we mean by source documents. Remember, source documents they are documents that are given supporting transactions when a transaction is initiated. The document that is going to support that transaction it is an evidence that there's a transaction that has taken place. Then we call it a source document. So we can define it as a physical or electronic evidence that we find in a business, indicating support for financial transaction that has taken place. These documents they act as original documents that support business transactions. So that's how we can define a source document. And then we can also define it as an internal document that acts as a tangible evidence of a business transaction. So we've got many different examples that we can give in terms of source documents. For example, when someone goes and buys something in a shop, that someone is given a receipt as proof of buying something. So that receipt becomes a source document that is supporting a cash transaction, cash payment that has taken place. So I would see that in some instances, there's a purchase that has taken place on credit. You're going to see an invoice as a source document supporting that transaction. So other examples that we have in terms of source documents, we can have bank statements as acting a source document. We can have cash register tapes acting a source document. We can also have supplier invoices. Receipts are also part of those source documents. And in the case of returns, we can have debit notes also acting as source documents, and we can also have credit notes acting as source documents. So this is what we have. So we are given transactions here, and the instruction is that we should provide the correct source document in full, stating original, duplicate, etc. for each of the following business transactions. So we are going to go through these transactions that we are given, and then identify which source document to apply to each and every transaction. So you can start with 3.1. Is the electricity account was paid by check. So there's a payment that is taken place by check of amount 7,770 rands, and then the source document that is there that we need to identify is that when a check is written, remember a check is part of that document that we are having as a checkbook. A check is issued. There's a part of that check which remains in that checkbook, which we call a check counterfoil. So a check counterfoil becomes the source document that supports this issuance of the check that has taken place. So here we are having a check counterfoil, a check counterfoil, kind of counterfoil. This is what we have in terms of the source document of 3.1. So maybe we can also want to understand what exactly is a check counterfoil. You would see that this check counterfoil is used to record transaction representing check payments. And it is also part of a check. Part of a check. Remember, it's part of a check. We issue a check, and then the remaining part becomes a check counterfoil. So it's part of a check that is retained in the checkbook as a record. So this is why how we bring the issue of check counterfoil. So on the next one, which is 3.2, it reads, received 5,300 rands from a debtor in settlement of his account. Received 5,300 from a debtor in settlement of his account. Remember, this is cash that is being paid. This is cash that is being paid, and the statement is saying received 5,300 from a debtor in settlement of his account. So remember, this debtor is given what we call a duplicate receipt. A duplicate receipt. So the most appropriate term that we can give there is a duplicate. Remember, when a receipt is issued, the copy of that receipt also remains with the business. So here we have got a duplicate receipt. So duplicate we can call it a duplicate receipt. So this is what we have in terms of 3.2. Then 3.3 reads total bank charges for the month amounted to 1,440. Which document supports these bank charges? So where can we find these bank charges? Bank charges are charged in the bank, and then they'll be recorded on the bank statement. So the bank statement becomes the source document that we have here. So here we've got the bank statement. So this is what we have in terms of the response on 3.3. So you see that in terms of a bank statement, remember, a bank statement also reflects our bank account that we have in the business. So basically, to define a bank statement, you can define it as a printed document of the bank that is produced by a bank representing the transactions that we also record in our bank account, and the amounts that have been paid into and withdrawn from the bank are also summarized on that bank statement. So it comes as a list of transactions for a bank account over a certain period, usually monthly. Usually, this bank statement is issued monthly in terms of the period which it is issued. So this is what we have in terms of a bank statement. So this one, we have a bank statement. So you're now on 3.4. It reads sold goods on credit to Anna Richard 7,150. The cost of those goods is 3,575. So basically, this cost is representing that these goods that we are selling, when we bought them at 3,575. Remember, when it's a trading business, it does buying and selling of goods. So when we bought these goods, we bought for 3,575. Then when we put a markup, then we are selling it now with a selling price of 7,150. So the source documents that we can put there is that we can the source document that is applying that 3.4 is a duplicate invoice. It's a duplicate invoice. So here we can indicate that it's a duplicate invoice. When it's a duplicate, what it necessarily means is that we also have another invoice that is there that is also the same characteristics or the same information that is on the original invoice. So this is what we have in terms of this one. So then this duplicate invoice we represents our 3.4. Then we go to the next one, which is our 3.5. 3.5. Then we go to the next one, which is 3.5. Now we can move on to the next one. We can move to the next one, which is our 3.5. We are now on 3.5, and 3.5 reads 3.5 reads took delivery of a computer purchased on credit from Jacob's Bazaar, which is 9,650 rands. So the keyword that we have there is that the delivery is taking place on credit. So we know that whenever something is on credit, it means there is an invoice that is supporting that transaction. But when it's on cash, we know that it's a receipt. And then when it's through bank, we know that there's a check that is there. So this is what we have in terms of this transaction. So it's on credit, so there's an invoice that is there. But here it's saying took delivery of a computer. It means this person is the one who is taking delivery of a computer purchased on credit. So is the one who is making the who is purchasing or making the payment. So it means the person who is purchasing will receive an original invoice. So here we have got an original invoice. The one who is selling or issuing the goods is the one now who remain with a duplicate invoice. So example, we go to our 3.4, sold goods on credit to Richard is the one which is the one who is selling the goods. So the one who is selling the goods will remain with a duplicate invoice, or the one who is writing the receipt. When it comes to this on 3.2, we've got a duplicate receipt, received 5,300 from a data. So when you receive, you write the receipt, and the one who is writing will remain with a duplicate. And then the one who is paying will go with a original document. So this is what we have in terms of the difference that we can give in terms of when we have a duplicate and an original. So basically, it's now clear that it's an original is taken by the one who is purchasing or making the payments, the one who receives original invoice. Then the duplicate, the one who is selling the goods or are receiving the money will receive the duplicate. So this is what we have in terms of this these source documents according to this question. Thank you for listening. Let's stay tuned for more videos to come. Those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share. I will meet again in the next video. And with that, I'm signing out for today.